Hello, this is Sabina at Cross Keys Crafts. As it is Remembrance Sunday this weekend, so this weekend when I'm recording this, when you're watching this, it will be Remembrance Sunday. I thought this would be a good opportunity to use my new poppy stamps. This is the group poppies. I think there is another one called wild poppies. So we've got these 3 stamps here with the open flower, closed flower, and then these are just with the buds. So I thought these would be really nice. And I'm going to use a technique that I have used before on a different card, which is the Joseph's colour. Is it called Joseph's Rain? Oh, don't ask me now. I'll put it in the title. I think it's Joseph's Coat. I'm thinking Technicolor, as in the musical or the film, because what you do is you put down coloured ink, and then you heat emboss in clear, and then you go over this with black ink, and what it does, it covers the remainder of the colour in black, but where you've got the clear embossing, it will resist, and that will really reveal the cut underneath. So what I did yesterday, because I wanted this panel to dry thoroughly, but obviously you can do it straight away and dry this with your heat tool, I have put down 2 panels of ink. The bottom one here is the Distress Oxide Mowed Lawn, and the top one is mainly the Elements Paprika, but I put in a little bit of the Candied Apple Distress Oxide, which I have only as a re-ink, and I put it on this little stamp pad. So that's what I have done, and I have already used my anti-static powder tool all over because I want to heat emboss, so just to make sure I've got no fingerprints or anything on this. So I'm just going to align my poppy. So as you can see, what I've done is obviously have red at the top, green at the bottom. I will vary these in the height, so I'm not too bothered whether parts of the stalks are going to be red. But I've already decided, I'll show you that in a moment, that I want one flower over here standing up like this, but I'm going to stamp a group here first. I want this a little bit lower, and I will show you in a moment how to manipulate that one. I think I want this one here on the side, and I already know that the buds won't be fully red, but it doesn't matter because they're buds, they can be green. And I think I just have this one here, and I will come in maybe a bit lower so that the flowers end up there on the edge. I already know that I will fill this up a little bit with my field grass or orchard grass. I can never remember which one it is I bought. They look similar, but I think they're just different in size. So these I think fit all on here, so I'm going to stamp them in one go. But what I will do is, I should have done that first now, I will fold these now over a little bit on my acrylic block. You can also do that on a stamp platform, obviously. So, and just because I just had the stamps on that, I will just quickly go over this again, making sure it didn't leave any residue there. So, where have I got my Versamark? There it is. So, making sure, by the way, when I took them out of the packaging, I rubbed them a little bit against my skin just to make sure there wasn't any residue on these, although they're normally quite good. It's the cheaper stamps that normally have more residue on them. So is that leaving some space here for another one, moving at this low enough. Just going to stamp these down here. Let the Versamark sink into the paper. If you lift it up, you can see against the light where you've got the ink. So I'm going to be brave. I'm going to do the other one at the same time. So all I'm doing here now is I'm straightening this up. Could even make it go the other way a little bit. And I'm inking that up again. And placing that here. Try not to push this side down so it doesn't go the other way. And I'm actually moving this up a little bit, I think, or down. Try to vary the heights a little bit. So, and then as I said, I'm coming in with my field grass. I just want to fill up the bottom here where the poppies don't have any leaves. So and then just one more here, I think, just to fade it out. So you can't see much at the moment. Oh, I don't know, I can't remember now whether I just showed you that. I've got the little dragonfly here. So I would like that to sit above there, above the flower. So I'm holding this again against the light so I can see where to stamp it. So I will heat set this now because I want to put a sentiment on afterwards, but it's tricky now for me to see where I've got the flowers. So I'm going to heat set this first now. Sorry, I need to put my embossing powder on, obviously. I'm using just the clear embossing powder. I do this all off camera, and then I come back and show you how to use the Wow embossing pen. If, by the way, you have got the Don't Forget to Fly stamp, which is a single sentiment stamp from Lavinia, you could just use the Don't Forget, but I want to put a Lest We Forget on this card, so I'm just writing it by hand, but I'll show you that after I've heat embossed this. So I have heat embossed this now. I always like to do it from the back because then the embossing powder doesn't blow around. So just make sure you heat up your heat tool for about 30 seconds, then it will be hot enough, and then make sure you move it about so you don't singe your paper from the back. But I really like this one now. So one thing I tend to forget sometimes when I do it in 2 steps is just to use my anti-static powder tool again, because I did touch my cardstock here and I don't want any residue of my fingers there now. It's a bit warped. After I've heat set this, I will put it through my die cutting machine between 2 pieces of paper, making sure I don't have any imprints of my cutting boards on this, but that could flatten it out. You could also mist it a little bit from the back, but be careful with your water reactive inks. And also, if you warm it up from the front, sometimes it bends it back enough. So a few little tips there for you. So this is the Wow embossing pen. So basically it's like Versamark but in a pen. My nib is already a bit sort of soft, so I have to be careful, but I'm just being brave now and I'm just writing in joint writing Lest We Forget. I have to plan a little bit. I think I put the lest we in there and then the forget there. Yeah, I was wondering whether I need an exclamation mark, but I'll leave it like this. So again, as before, going to apply my embossing powder. I'm going to heat set this, and then we start with the fun part. My panel has cooled down. I decided against putting it through the die cutting machine because I think it's quite all right now that I've flattened it with, heated it up on the other side. Sorry, my brain's not fully functioning today. So I'm now coming in with some black ink. This is the black soot, which I think works really nicely. You could use a different colour, but I like this as a contrast. And I'm just applying this all over now. So I want a really, really dark application. So I will speed this up for the video. So I've covered it mostly. I can still see a hint of colour through the black, but I don't mind that. But it's up to you. You could put another layer on that. So, and the magic happens now. Oh, by the way, you saw me put my fingers on there so I don't get inky fingers. So the magic happens now. Let me just get another cloth here. When I wipe the excess off all the embossed areas, then you've got the full contrast there of the embossed flowers. Oh, by the way, I did add a full stop there at the end after switching the camera off. I've got a bit of embossing powder there. I saw that once I was heat embossing. Got a little speck there, but I really like this. And I don't mind that, as I said, that the stalks are a bit red there. I think this is really, really nice. So I think I'm just going to mount this on a black card. I'm not going to send this to anyone. I think I will put it in the pub downstairs where we've already got poppies on display. And I think it would look really nice there. Yeah, if you like this card, you might want to give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of what I'm creating, I post videos at least twice a week. You might want to subscribe to my channel. I'd be very happy about that. And I'll see you soon with another video.